happy that you've joined me on another Wednesday for another review. On today's episode, I want to review Lionheart. Lionheart is a 2018 Nigerian movie by Genevieve Nnaji, or Genevieve Nnaji, if you will. It's a very powerful movie. It's a very nice movie. I remember it had such great reviews back then because I remember watching it for the first time. I didn't remember, by the way, a lot of it. Again, this is why I love rewatching movies and series and stuff, because when you watch them again, it gives you a different perspective, a different view. You're like, oh, yeah, I did remember that happened. And in this one, I didn't remember a lot of what was happening in the movie because I was watching it and I was like, maybe I didn't really put my heart into it the first time I watched it, because honestly, I didn't remember half of what was happening. So anyway, Lionheart is a beautiful movie. It's the actors are Genevieve Nnaji, who plays Adeze Obiagu, Peter Doche, who plays Obiagu or Chief Obiagu, that's Adeze's father. Nkem Owo, he plays Godswill Obiagu, that is Adeze's uncle, and he's the guy who played Osofia in London, so I love him. Onyeka Onwenu, who plays Abigail Obiagu, who's Adeze's mother. Kanayo plays Igwe Pascal. He's a very mean person in this movie. Final, he plays Obiora Obiagu, that is Adeze's brother. Jemima Osunde, she plays Onyinye, Adeze's assistant. Kalu Ikiagu, who plays Samuel Aka, that is a very mean guy in this movie, by the way. Ngozi Ezeonu, oh my god, I hope I'm saying these names correctly. She plays Chioma Obiagu, that is Adeze's aunt, and Godwill's wife. So, anyway, in this movie, I was so happy to finally see some Nigerian actors that I had watched their movies kitambo. I remember while in high school, our entertainment consisted of Nigerian movies, because I think the only time we ever watched a different movie, I've forgotten the name of the movie, but it was a very, very good movie. I remembered it because I loved it so much. Because every other time we were always watching Nigerian movies and I loved them. Because like Kanayo is somebody who was always on those movies. I watched him, whenever I would hear the name, I would just laugh because it was Kanayo, always. And he was always on those movies. I mean, Genevieve, all the time she used to play with, what is that guy's name? Ramsey. I mean, it was just amazing. Peter Doche, I remember him from those days. Again, Kem Owo and Ngozi Ezonu. These are people we always used to watch. And then came Akina Kalu Keagu. And then Jemima, I was happy because I remember her from Sugar and she was really, really amazing. So rewatching this movie made me go like, oh my God, I haven't seen you for a while. Oh my God. And I told you, I talked to the people on my TV and I talked to myself a lot. Yeah. So you can imagine how happy I was to see these people, especially when Genevieve came on screen. I was like, yeah, hi girl, I haven't seen you in a while, I haven't talked to you in a while. And I know it's crazy, I really do. Yeah, I really know it's crazy, but don't judge me. Anyway, so the movie is about Genevieve's character Adeze and her family. So we start off with she's in the company and there's a little riot outside, so people are coming, they want to beat people up, wanting to get them out of the buses and stuff. And at first I was like, what is happening? So it is later revealed that Lionheart is the name of the bus company. It's like their guardian or their easy coach. So Lionheart is the name of the bus company. And so these people who are coming to fight them, I don't know if what they were. I don't know if they were drivers who are being paid well, or but I didn't get who they were. I'm sorry, but it is at the beginning of the movie and they were roughing people up and just being uncontrollably hectic. I don't know, it was just weird. But then I didn't get who they were. I didn't get if they were drivers who weren't being paid well or what they were, but they wanted to be paid. And so Jemima's character, Onyinye, she tells it to Adeze, and Adeze comes and sees what's the problem, and she talks them down, and she's like, calm down, you're going to be paid your money, because what you're doing now, who is it helping? Who is it helping? It's not helping you, it's not helping us. So why don't you chill and then you'll get paid? And the guy who was leading that group, he goes like, we have had you. Have you had her? We are going to wait and then we'll see. And so he leaves and they leave, which I'm like, okay, fine. And so they go back into the company, and there's this guy who's introduced, Samuel. He is a bad person in this movie because he wants to take over the company after Chief Obiagu, that's Adeze's dad, has retired or something like that. And so he looks at the scenario that is happening and he doesn't try to help. He just smiles and walks away and goes to the meeting because he wants to arrive before Adeze so that he can take over and stuff like that. And he goes there and he's like, yeah, because she's late, blah, 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 we cannot wait for her. I also know about all the projects. And so he sits down and wants to take over. And just before he's allowed to speak, Adeze walks in, which I'm like, yes. Because I do not like people who like pretending. I do not like people who put other people down so that they can shine. I do not like that. And so when Adeze walked in, I was like, yes, shut the hell up. Because what did you want to say? Shut the hell up. It is not your place to talk, so shh. And so Adeze walks in and they do like a little thing on screen, a presentation, and I think it was an advert for the Lionheart company or something like that. And so after they do that, everybody claps apart from him. He's not so happy about it. I think he claps but ile tu ya finyo. But then after they do that, everybody's happy about that. And when they are about to leave, Chief Obiagu, he has a heart attack, I think. And so he's ill and he's at home. He can't manage the company anymore because in that meeting there were board members, I think. And so he goes at home. He can't work anymore. And now people are like, okay, what's happening? Who's going to take over and stuff like that? So in a meeting, the next time they're in a meeting, he's on like the phone telling them what is going to happen, who's going to take over. And Sam, of course, being the bootlicker that he is, he starts like praising and praising and praising and saying, oh, you're the one who knows, you know who to choose, you know, blah, 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 because he wants to be given that position. But then the chief, he doesn't give him. Instead, he has called his little brother to come and take over. But it's not like taking over. He just wanted his little brother to come and guide Adeze through the transitional stuff. But at first, I won't lie, I was also like, why would you do that? I saw him and I was like, this is Osofia in London. This man, he's never serious in anything he does. This man is coming to ruin things. Because even if you read the synopsis on online, it tells you that when the brother comes in, things starts changing. And you're just immediately like, okay, this man is going to ruin things. He's completely going to ruin things. But then he doesn't. He actually held Adese's hand and he helped her out until she became the leader that she was supposed to be. Anyway, so when he comes over, she leaves the company and goes back home to complain to the dad. But then the mom does not allow her to see the dad because he's sick and he's sleeping. So the mom is the one who sits her down and tells her, like, no, this is and this and this and this and this. Don't worry about it. Your uncle is not here to take over. He's here to guide you. So be calm and all of that. And then the brother comes in, the uncle, and the mom allows him to go and see his brother. And so Daisy's like, what do you allow him to go and see dad? She's like, yeah, you never keep brothers away from each other. And so he goes, sees his brother, they talk, blah, blah, blah. She also goes, Daisy talks to the dad a little bit, and then she's like, okay, I'll go to the company. And she goes back, and now while they're there, there is this accountant who comes. It's a woman, and she has two bodyguards, and these bodyguards sometimes finish her words. That scene was just funny because I was like, what? People do business like this? Because what in the hell is this? Who does business like this? Like, you are the accountant and then you have two bodyguards, and whenever you say something, they finish for you. So anyway, What the accountant is saying is that the Lionheart company is almost going bankrupt because the chief took out a huge loan, 950 million or 900 and something million nairas, and he wasn't able to pay because he took the money and he bought a couple of buses, and then he wasn't able to pay, and he's remaining with, like, it was 30 days for him to be able to complete paying that money, or the company is going to go bankrupt. And so this is where I usually find a problem with companies that have like board members in such a way, like a company that is open up to the public and stuff, IPOs and stuff, vitoka hizo. I don't like that. I usually feel like I'd rather my company equal to ni yangu, such that if there's a problem, I'm the only one who's solving it, or trying to solve it rather. I do not have people to answer to other than the people who work for me. So whenever I'm trying to put like the company back together, I'm trying to get a loan, blah blah blah, I'm doing all of these things so that I can be able to help my people, the people who work for me, so that they don't go home starving and stuff. But if you have board members to answer to, it makes it even 10 times difficult, because these people, all they care about is profit. Are we making money? What is going to happen? But then if you do not have, if you cannot help them get those profits, then you become the problem, and they can kick you out of a company that you started from your own vision, and you helped it grow until you brought them on. So yeah, this part I was like, Anyway, they learn about that, but they don't tell the board members. So they have time to try and get the money that they need to pay for this loan, so that the company does not go under. So Adeze and her uncle, they go from bank to bank, trying to get an extension of the loan or something like that, just to cover this loan or to get some more time to pay it. But everywhere they go, they're told no, 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 no. But it is revealed that this character, played by Kanayo, Igwe Pascal, he's the one who's doing this. He's the one who's telling these people not to give them a loan. He's the one who's telling them just waste their time but don't do anything for them. And so, because he wants to take over, what I did not say is that he also owns another company. So it's like Easy Coach now, Guardian. So Guardian, God forbid, is the one that is like going under, and then Easy Coach wanataka kununua Guardian. And so, but ataki kununua tu alafu keep the people who are working there. He sort of like wants to buy it and dismantle it or something like that. Just ile tu for pride's sake. Ndo aseme, yeah, I put that man under. And then this man is also working with Samuel. And so they continue making these people just waste their time going from place to place. Alafu Samuel invites Igwe Pascal into their company, to Lionheart, to come and tell the board members, like, yeah, I'm going to give you like, I don't know what, billions of money, and once I put that money in, we can help you guys, blah blah blah. Because now you're pitching to the board members again. Board members will also always go for profit. So if they find somebody who can give them that kind of money, they will take it, because that is all they care about mostly. Yeah. But you, the person who started the company, you had a vision, you knew what you wanted to do, you knew the people that you wanted to work with and work for, and you know why you built your company from scratch. But the board members, they will always go for profit. And so in this scenario, they are pitching to the board members. And where are Nini, Adeze and the uncle? They're in prison, because one of the last places they went, Daisy's uncle was like, what do you want us to do for you? Tell me, what do you want me to do for you? We'll do anything. And that guy was like, do you want to bribe me? He was like, you know what I'm talking about. What do you want us to do for you in order for you to accept to help us out? I will do anything. And that man, being the scam that he is, he goes like, your niece is very beautiful. You know, I can blah, 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 blah. The uncle punched him in the face. And so they are taken to jail for a little bit. And so while they're there, Onyinye, she comes to release them. But then the Scaris cannot release them because the chief is not there, like the head of the police there. police station or something. He's not there, and he has to be there in order for the bill to be paid. But then he's like, that's Taskari is like, this place has to have a man and a woman. And so because there was a driver and Onyinye, they're like, a man and a woman, right? So let them come in. They exchange, and these guys go because Onyinye is the one who tells Adeze that Samuel has brought in Chief Igwe Pascal into the company. They're having an emergency board members meeting. And so these guys go and they arrive at the meeting and they're like, what is happening? And Samuel, being like, oh, I hated him in this movie. He's the one who continues talking to the board members, dangling that, I don't know how much it was, like it was 1 billion something, dangling it in front of their eyes and in front of their faces. And the days is like, just give us time. We're going to solve this issue. And so the board is mad. And rightfully so, because why didn't you tell us? Why did a stranger come and tell us that our company is going under? Why didn't you tell us? And so she tries to explain that I was trying to work on it, blah, blah, blah. But then, they're not listening. And so they go like, okay, we're going to give you some time. We're going to give you 10 days. That man has given us 10 days in order for us to accept this money or refuse it. So we're also going to give you 10 days. And within those 10 days, you better have done something about it. So now she's very desperate. She wants to save her company because she's thinking, if this Igwe Pascal takes over, he will not keep our people. He's going to fire them. He's going to just, ruin this company. And so she thinks about it and she'll go like, I've dated a couple of people, so I know somebody who might help. And so she leaves and goes to Mr. P. Mr. P is played by one of the P Square brothers. I don't know which one, but one of the P Square brothers. And so she goes there and he's singing and she sings a little bit too. And so this man goes like, tell me what you want me to do for you. And she says what she wants. And then this guy says, I'm going to give you 500 million naira. And she's like, just like that? Like, you just have 500 million naira just lying around ready to give me? And he's like, yeah. I'm here for you. And so he goes and takes out a bottle of, I don't know, wine, or was it champagne, and some glasses, and comes back. But while she's waiting, she thinks it through and she's like, no, I can't do this. And so she wants to walk out. On the other hand, the uncle who did not go in with her stayed outside, and this place, there was a pool party going on, blah blah blah, because it's a musician's mansion. And so there are things that are going on around that place. People are doing things, fishy things. And so I don't know, somehow Goodwill ended up in the basement or in a room, I don't know. And there was this man Hamza who's being lied to, because now these people are Igbo, and Hamza is from, it's like, okay, I don't know, because he plays a Muslim guy, and I don't know, I think there's a community that is of Muslims mostly, and I've forgotten their name. But anyway, he's not Igbo, so he cannot hear what these people are saying. So these people are trying to con him, and they're talking in Igbo, but then one of them is translating in English, and he's just lying and lying and lying. But then God's will, he's behind there at the stairs, and he's listening to what these people are saying. And so he comes and interrupts them and is like, hey, Mr. Man, you're being lied to. These people are Igbo like me, and they're lying to you. They're trying to steal from you. Because it turns out that guy, Hamza, he wanted to prove himself to his dad. And so he wanted to get their fleet of cars into that side of Nigeria. These people are lying to him that they're going to help. And so God's will, he helps him out, and he's not conned. These guys try to harass him into paying that 30% that they're going to get from him. But then when Adeze comes back in, hits one of them with the door, and and then they leave. Anyway, they're desperate. They're trying to get the money. So they think about it, and eventually they're like, okay, there's another company, because this was God's will idea from the beginning. He was like, let's do a merger with this company that's from the other side, and we can do a merger, and they can bring in their fleets of cars, and then we can expand a little bit. And she was against it, but this time she's like, okay, fine. Because she was going on her morning run, and at the bus station she had people talking. There was this driver who was telling a woman that, those buses, they take time, blah blah blah. Like, he was just complaining, trying to upsell his car, but then by putting that Lionheart company down. And so she hears this, and she goes to the company, and she calls a meeting with the drivers, and the drivers come, and she listens to them, and they give her their insights into the matter. And she's like, okay, we're going to do this, let's try the merger. And so she talks to their uncle, and they decide to go to Kano, to that company, because that other company is in Kano, to go there and talk to them and see what will happen. So at the airport, who do they meet? That Hamza guy. Hamza is there with his dad, and he remembers Godswill, because he's like, this man, he helped me. And so he comes, introduces himself. He has a little thing with Adeze, because he's like, yo, that handshake. So they do that, and they talk, and he's like, yeah, do you know who that man you're going to meet is? And he's like, no, we've never met, but you're going to meet him today. And he goes, okay, let me introduce myself. And so he says, I'm Hamza, blah blah blah. That name is the second name, the father's name. And so it's like, oh, okay. And that is my dad. He's Mr. So and so, the man that you're going to meet. And so they go, do you want to travel with us? Yes. They go together, they get to Kano, they talk about it. And Adeze gives in her pitch, and the man listens and is like, okay, I'm going to think about it, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes back. These guys, they offer them their guest house. And so they go and spend the night there, and then they go back. So when they go back, we are shown the dad and this other gentleman from Kano. They are just sat there, just like they're sizing each other up. But eventually they talk, because he speaks that language. I don't know, I've forgotten what it's called, but he speaks it. And Adese's dad also speaks it, and is like, oh, so you understand. That was a very good part, because it's it's brought to light something that Trevor Noah always says. Because Trevor says that it's amazing how just knowing someone's language could always make you stop being a stranger and became like, hey, a comrade, like, yo, you know my language, you know how to speak it, and then you become friends just because you know this language. Because Hamza's dad, he didn't came in like to fight, but Adese's dad, he was like, this is my company, I don't want people taking over and stuff like that. And so when Hamza's dad spoke his language, he was just like, okay, with the way this is going, I feel like I'm going to have to spend the night here as well. And he says it in his mother tongue. And so Adese's dad answers him. He goes like, yeah, we also have a guest house. And so when he says that, it changes everything, because it's like, oh, you also speak blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah. And then they laugh about it, and that's it. Because Adeze was watching them before, and she was very worried. She even like went to get her uncle. And then her uncle, by the time he's coming, they're laughing. And she's like, no, they weren't doing that before. They weren't even talking. It was a funny, it was a funny scene. But anyway, long story short, the merger happens, and then the 10 days are up. These people are back in the meeting. So Igwe, Pascal, and Samuel and the board members, they're in the boardroom, and they're talking about business. They are like, okay, this guy is trying to give them their pitch, I'm going to bring the money, blah blah blah. But then, Chief Albiago comes in with a Daisy, and they walk in, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to do what those people are going to want you to do. This is what you're going to do, because even if I'm on trial, I better be here so that you can listen to my side of the story, blah blah blah. And then they talk, they introduce the merger, blah 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 blah, and everything is done. So this Igwe Pascal walks out very upset, because it's like he tried to dismiss them and stuff, but then he was told, shh, leave. He left. When he's leaving, someone sits down as if nothing happened, and they tell him, hey, Nani, young boy, get out. I loved how Uncle Obiagu, Godswill, he called him beautiful boy. Beautiful boy, what are you still sitting down doing here? Go, 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 go. It was a beautiful moment. I loved it. It was like, beautiful boy, what are you doing? Get out. What are you still sat here doing? Even like Chief was like, what are you still doing here? get out. And that's just how he lost his job. And something tells me there's no way that Igwe Pascal is going to give him a job in his company, because if you're a snitch, the person that you're snitching to will never give you a place of respect, because he knows that it only takes one mistake from your part to turn that person against you as well. So I don't think he got a place in Pascal's office, but whatever, we don't see him anymore. So the match is introduced, and then we turn to the chief's retirement party. Okay, at that place, during that meeting, he announces that Adeze is going to take over from him officially, and so everybody celebrates it, because they're like, okay, can we, because it's a company, their board members, let's put it to a vote, because I don't want to just impose her on you. But then, so let's put it to a vote. The uncle comes in and goes like, okay, let me do this. Who, the high eyes and the nays. So it's like, whoever is voting for her say aye, and everybody goes like aye, and it goes like, yeah, done. We're going, not even going to go further than that. The eyes have it. And so everybody claps, and then we pan now to the chief's retirement party, and they're having their moment there. They're dancing, and Hamza, of course, is staring at Adeze, and Onyinye notices it, and it's like, she's like, somebody has a crush on you. And so he comes, they have a moment, and then on the other side, uh the chief's son, by the way, I talked about Obiora. He's played by Fino, or hope that's how they say the name. He's Adeze's brother, and he's a musician. He's always in the studio recording something. And the mom, these parents were the most supportive parents, by the way, because the mom was always in studio with him. And so the dad didn't know the kind of music that he does. So he was like, he always just plays hip hop, but apparently he doesn't always play hip hop. He also does some traditional Nigerian music. And so during this retirement party, he does it, and he sings, and the dad is dancing, and everybody is dancing, and everybody is happy, and the company is saved. And so I think we end the movie there during that retirement party. Unless I'm forgetting something, I feel like that's where we ended the movie. So that was Lionheart. This lady saved her company. This lady worked hard to save her company. And the uncle was helpful, because, hey, me at first, when I saw him, I was like, this is Sophia in London. Or Sophia is up to no good. I'm sure there's no way he's going to do something good. But he did. He helped her out. He held her hand. He didn't impose himself. Like, he will go to places with her, and he will allow her to be the one to talk, to be the one to pitch in the, even when they went to Hamza's dad, he was like, you are the one who's going to talk to him. You're the one who is going to lead the company. So you're the one who's going to be talking to him. And so he allowed her to go and do it. He did not impose, he did not force anything. And so she went and she spoke to him. And yeah, he was very, very nice. I was shocked, because it's like, these guys may be coming to do something bad about in this company, just to put them out or something. Actually, I thought he was going to play the part that Samuel did. But then Samuel was just rotten from the beginning, because he did nothing when Daisy was trying to calm the rioters down. But anyway, it was a good movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. I don't know why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10. I don't know. But they don't ask me. But I just loved it. I loved the acting. I loved all the actors. I loved the cinematography. Everything about it was just appealing. And it was a very good story of how this lady fought for her father's company and for the people working in that company, no matter what people did or no matter what people said. She did not give up. Okay, there are some moments she gave up, because there was a time she didn't even wake up in the morning. She was just like, I'm not going to do this anymore. But eventually she thought about it and she went back, because the mom spoke to her. And as I said, those parents were very, very good parents, because they were always with their children, and very, very supportive of their children. And so it was an overall good movie. I'll say that. I don't know what else to say, because I just loved everything about it. It was a good watch, and rewatching it made me feel so happy, because honestly, if somebody would have asked me, have you ever watched Lionheart, I would have said yes. Okay, so what was it about? I wouldn't have told you. I didn't even remember that Lionheart was the name of the bus company service. I wouldn't have known. I didn't remember that. So if somebody asked me about it, I would just said, Genevieve Nnaji is there. And then, yeah, nothing. I would have had nothing else to say. So it was good rewatching it, and I love the experience. So, yeah, I would urge you to all go and watch it. It's on Netflix. So make sure you go and watch it and come to the comments and tell me what you thought. You can text me here. You can DM me on my Instagram, Mimi's Musings Podcast. Tell me what you thought about it. Or you can just text down here. You can comment down here, down below, and tell me what you thought about the movie. If you loved it, if you are rewatching it and you are like me, where like you didn't even remember the plot from when you watch it the first time. So tell me about that as well. But make sure to watch it because it's a very nice movie. There's not a lot of moments where you go like you don't laugh like ha 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 completely, but you just love it because it's set in such a nice premise. And there was this family dinner they had when the aunt came to visit, like God's old wife came to visit, and they had a family dinner, and it was so nice. I just loved their family dynamics, the way the dad was. People are messing up with, they were messing with, like Obiora, the brother, because he's a musician, and he was like, yo, I know what I'm doing because I am a musician, blah, blah, blah. And it was just funny. Like, it was a good dinner. I loved it. I really did. I loved the family dinner and I loved the family dynamic because it didn't force anything. They honestly didn't force anything. Whatever moment you're experiencing, it was just a good moment. And I was like, these are good African family. They support each other. They're always there for each other. And that's something that we need to see a lot of. And so, yeah, go and watch it. I'm not going to say much more about it other than, as I said, it was a good movie. I loved everything about it. I loved the acting. I loved the characters. I loved the way they set it because they were showcasing Nigeria. And it wasn't like the posh, rich neighborhoods of Nigeria. It was just like a normal, like town. Ni kama tu tao, mali magari zusimama. They were showing that and it was still good. Like you were just loving the place. I love that Genevieve made quite a lot of money from that show because Netflix bought it off of her. So that was good. And yeah, I love to see women shining. I love to see Genevieve shining the way she did because apparently she's the richest actress in Nigeria. And she has like, I think, 10 million USD in her account or something like that. Like her net worth is 10 million USD and some change or something like that. So yeah, that is Lionheart. Go watch it on Netflix and tell me what you thought about it. While you're doing that, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so that I can always be the first one to come and listen. Tumeongeza one more subscriber. So we're at 24. IQ, please help me. I told you to give me 50. Please tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a brother, tell a sister, tell a mom, tell a dad. Just tell somebody that you know to please subscribe so that I can have more followers, more subscribers rather, and that will make me very, very happy. So come back on Saturday for another episode. For episode, is it 19 or episode 20, something like that, and then come back next Wednesday for another review of another movie. I think we're going back to Kenya and I'll be reviewing Nairobi Half-Life, if I'm not mistaken. So because that one, even if I don't watch it on Netflix, I remember the story. That one I've watched a couple of times. There are disgusting moments in it, but you have to wait until next Wednesday to be able to